Welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends with Blazing Corp. We are back doing our Doom Tower series right during the middle of the event here, but we're taking some time to make sure that all us low spenders out there, or us mid gamers, know how to beat these levels. There are lots of you guys getting in, letting me know that, hey, I just can't beat the Celestial Griffin there. Whether it's, what was it, floor 40, I believe, last time we saw him there. Actually, let's just double check. Was it floor 40? Sorry, floor 50 the last time we saw him. He was pretty tough then. We did use a different team composition to beat him than the one I'm going to use today. So the one I'm using today, this is my damage mitigation team here. And this is the team that I use for Clan Boss. If you've watched any of my other videos, especially when he was coming out, this guy works like the Clan Boss does. Lots of different things that he is immune to. His setup is very similar just in terms of the mechanics and how you would go about beating him to the clan boss. They're at least how I look at it. So I brought in my damage mitigation team. Now in no way, shape, or form can I do this on auto with this team. It is impossible because they're going to want to use a lot of the buffs that that they have. And the way his abilities are laid out there, he can take away debuffs, he can take away buffs with one move that has a 3-turn cooldown, and he can push his debuffs back onto you there also with a 3-turn cooldown. So both of those kind of interchange. Now you need that manual. This is just like the Nether Spider. You need to manual it here, so that way you know when to put your debuffs on, also when to remove your debuffs from your team, as well as when to put your buffs on. So those three things are really important. So I've already beaten this in my testing. Took me 56 turns, about 12-13 minutes there. I'm sure most of the global teams are just absolute nuke teams. Yeah, it looks like we got a lot of nuke teams here. Man, how this guy beat him in 10 turns, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous there. But hey, you know what? Good on him there for doing that. It's got probably a whale and has some crazy champions there. But as you guys know, we are mid-tier, so this is a mid-tier gamer's guide to beating the Celestial Griffin. All right, so let's go on into this here. We are going to auto up until the boss here, because it doesn't matter if we hit the boss with our abilities or not, because we're most of the time going to be using A1s. Yes, you heard me right. Most of the time we are going to be using A1 here. A few champions that you can kind of put into this particular level here. Someone like Fanax, who has a really crazy A1, like really hard hitter, he would work really well here, and so would Inquisitor Shamal, both of who I have, but both of who are not kitted. They don't have kits built out for them. They don't have masteries there right now. So a lot of those things we'll be doing there down the line. HP burn is actually really good in here, just so you guys know here as well. There, especially after he removes his buff. The next one he's going to do is transfer all debuffs here. So that is going to transfer to us here. But we can, at this point, put on because he's got 3 turns left on his remove buffs here, we can at this point put on the counter attack that we have from Skull Crusher. So let's do that. So now when he attacks, everyone is going to attack him back and then still be able to take our turns, which is really nice. So long as... yeah, we should be able to clear. Yeah, so we're going to clear that right now. But that will transfer some poisons to us, but that is okay. So let's do that. The main thing we're trying to avoid here is getting below 50, because then it's gonna trigger his secondary ability, which is this one. Attacks an enemy whenever their HP drops below 50%. This attack places a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. That's the hard part. Alright, let's continue. Alright. So it doesn't hurt as much as you think it would here, but it still does hurt quite a little bit here. Now, I am not going to do this ability because it places an increased defense for 3 turns, which we don't want to give to the Griffin here, which we would if we put it on. So we're going to skip that one, and we're just going to hit him with a normal hit. Now, one thing I probably will do, actually I will do, is I'm going to place these poisons on him, and then I'm going to combust them there on the next turn. And that's going to cause a significant amount of damage. Alright, let's keep going. Now, this is the only problem with Skull Crusher, is he might end up placing this heal reduction. And I've had that transfer a few times there, so that's always a mess there, but luckily it's only 1 turn. Now, no way I'm putting this increased crit rate. We're going to be doing a 1 here. We're not going to do that until this ability is used on the next turn. So all of our guys should go, and there should only be 2 buffs left by the time his turn rolls around. Now I could use this, but I'm not going to right now here, because I'm hoping I can get that decreased attack out there, but let's see. Alright, so let's combust. So that's a nice little hit there. And that's what we want to do. Like, we want to hopefully take this guy down before he gets to about 12. 10 is bad enough, but 12 is really that end point where I'm just going to wipe here. Alright, so at this point I can put buffs on here, so I'm going to do that. So we're going to add all these buffs to everyone, increase crit rate. We are going to add continuous heals and poisons, and we're going to do increased defense. Now that's for 3 turns. And we're going to hit this guy with the HP burn. Now the reason I did that, even though I knew he was going to transfer debuffs, is because he gets hit with whatever abilities or debuffs he put on him, then he transfers them. So he did take damage from the poison and the HP burn before he transferred 1 stack there to us. And that allows us, putting all these buffs out, allows us to do champions or companions of fate. So we're gonna hit this guy really hard right now. So that's good. All right. So this has 1. I don't want to put this on here, because definitely not the way I want to do it here. So let's see. Actually, you know what? I made a mistake there. I shouldn't have used Companions of Fate just then. There, I should have waited for the next go around. So he is going to be able to take off a bunch of buffs. I might actually wipe with this one. Hopefully I can get this decrease attack. Yes, so that actually worked out really nicely there. Let's get the poisons on, and let's see if we can get most of these buffs off. Alright, so good. So that decreased attack came in really nice there. That's the only thing that pulled me out of there. We're going to put on the counter attack, and then we're just going to use our A1s here. Ooh, all right. So we got that hit out. So we should be able to, with our next hit, yeah, clear all of this off. Yeah, it's just a 2-turn, so this should work okay. Yeah, the real big thing is we want to make sure that, so we can't put this out because he's only got one left. We want to make sure we get as much of these buffs off as we can here before he takes his next turn. So we could combust, but we're not going to do that here. There's not enough poisons out to want to do that. He's going to hit with the second one. Okay, good thing he's got a ton of defense there. And this is why a clan boss team works really well. That second hit, they're used to taking that. So I've got high defense on everybody here. Now this is the point in the match where we can go for broke here because we should be able to, within about one hit, take most of this down here within his one turn. So let's get as much out here as we can. And it's a good thing she was able to go twice. So let's give this a shot. All right, so this should be the win here on our next couple hits. So we're going to go for broke. We're not looking at this anymore. We're looking at the health bar now. Here we go. All right, so that's how to beat the Celestial Griffin. I actually beat my turn control last time, and I beat my time there as well. So I was at a 12-minute click. I'm at an 8-minute click, 49 turns. Our MVP is a Gnarl. Who would have thought that a Gnarl would become so important as there we moved up the Doom Tower with these new bosses. I never would have thought it, but she has a lot of utility there with her A1 having an HP burn, her A2 having double stacks of 5% poisons, and her A3 along with Bad L having poisons there, hitting like a truck for the combust there. So definitely a great synergy between these two because we don't have to wait for his poisons to come back around for her to put poisons out and for these guys to hit harder there. Lanicus comes in really clutch here as well as Skull Crusher with ally attack there, and then increased attack and crit rate, as well as Skull Crusher with his counter attack. That really allowed us to drain the health bar very, very quickly. And then Iron Brago is just Iron Brago. I love this guy. This guy is account changing for me. Literally the best champion that I own there. On that end, I use him everywhere. I probably actually use Bad Elkas are everywhere too there, but Iron Brago, I'm really trying to put him into every team that I create there because he is so good utility wise there, and that's what I'm seeing in Underpriest Underpriest, whatever that guy's name is. There, I see the same in him there, so definitely go for that fusion if you guys haven't already. Push, push, push. You guys have a fantastic day. Please hit the subscription button and the like button there. It helps me a lot there. And let me know who you guys are using for the Celestial Griffin on floor 90 or floor 50. Crap, I can't remember what floor it was. Yeah, floor 50 there, because very interesting to know what you guys came up with and what kind of teams you guys are pulling with there on that end. This is it for the mid gamer Blazing Corp. We'll chat next time. Let's chat then.